Hello and welcome. This is another episode. And I have to admit, I'm going a bit slower, especially since I had a major project going on. And I want to talk about stress today. What is stress? And there is this sense of once you are retired, there is no more stress. Stress is associated with work life, raising children, family, and all of that. Is that true? Hmm, I'm not so sure. First of all, I just need to listen to friends in my age group or older, and I hear a lot of sayings that seem to be stress. Oh, I'm so busy, I don't have time for this, that, or the other. And I remember even my parents talking about being more stressed almost than when my dad had was working. And work means there is a set pattern to the day, to the week. You work 5 days, you have the weekend off, you have certain times that you are at work, and then you're home. And yes, work may create some stress, but it's also alleviated with having a rhythm and a set pattern. And what I've noticed is that once people retire, that set pattern tends to be gone pretty quickly. And then the schedule is open, and you fill it, and you fill it, and you fill it, and as a sudden it's, I don't have time. I am too busy. I don't know where to go, what to do. There are so many possibilities. Hmm. Are they as a sudden so much more, or is it that we haven't opted for those possibilities while we were working? But that is a totally different subject. So, what kind of stress do we experience when we are retired, when we get older? Often just the mere fact of getting older and associated things with that, like increasing health concerns, grief, because there's as a sudden people are dying, and worries about finances, about what is going on in the world, how is that going to impact me? All of those things cause stress, but we don't see it that way. We look at, we have our set notion that work is associated with stress. But I wonder, how do we notice stress? Are there ways for us to notice them? For me, one thing that I am keenly aware of is that my muscles tense. And I seem to carry a lot of stress here in the upper shoulders. That can get really tense. And I can sit there, and as a sudden, it's sort of, oh. So becoming aware of signals of stress is important, and find out what your signals are, because not everybody has the same signals. But there are sort of the same kinds of things that we can do to reduce stress. Loosen, relax the muscles if that's possible. If not, start breathing slow and steady. It's almost maybe start a 5-minute meditation. you know, just be quiet, turn inward, don't think about outside stuff, and breathe. Deep breaths. That is helpful. But there is another aspect that I recently discovered. I found out, and of all things through a conversation with AI, that I'm still carrying stress from childhood. Now, I cognitively dealt with what I considered my childhood traumas. And not that they weren't, but they were not the main trauma. And I am meaning that from the sense that it carried over through my whole life. And I hadn't realized that until I started a conversation about stress quite some time ago with AI and explored and stayed with the question that AI asked me back, that I actually realized my memory jumped to certain things that I had not considered to be stressful. But in the light of that conversation, it dawned on me how stressful that had been for me. And stress impacts the body. My sense is that I am still carrying that stress, and it expresses not only that my muscles tense, it expresses itself in hormonal dysfunction because there are stress hormones. It also expresses itself in the health that I am having, in the health that others are having. And I'm also realizing that not everybody reacts to the same thing in the same way. What stressed me may not have stressed my siblings, for instance. So, and what stressed them, vice versa, may not have stressed me. So, where is it? How do we deal with things? Stress changes as we age. And I'm wondering, in all honesty, is it easier for us as we age to get stressed? As I said, we still have stressors, but do we get stressed quicker than we did when we were young? And intuitively, I'm inclined to say yes, because the body is so attuned to stress. And stress when I'm young is relatively new to the body. When I'm older, my body is used to being stressed and responds a lot faster to a new stressor that is happening. So, what, how does it impact us as elders, not just as older people? As elders, are we willing to become aware of the stressors and deal with them in a productive way by relaxing, by breathing, by momentarily slowing down and stopping maybe even what we're doing and just take a deep, deep breath. One trick that I learned from someone is to take an inhale and then another short one. So it looks like, and then slowly breathe out and do that. And I've started playing with that because I was fascinated. I can't say yet, I haven't played with it long enough that I can say for sure that it relaxes my nervous system, but at least it feels like that. So I'm already happy about that. What are your experiences with stress? Where are you stressed out? And how are you dealing with stress? I would be interested in learning about that. So if you would leave a comment, I would greatly appreciate that. And not stressing myself out more because I need to jump through this hoop and that hoop and I need to be perfect. Common stresses that we all deal with. I am saying goodbye for today and I'll see you another time. May not be on a regular basis. I am planning on doing it more on there is something coming up that I'm engaged with right now. Let's talk about it. And then maybe it's quiet for 3 weeks. And then we have 2 or 3 in one or in a 2 week period. So take care. Bye bye.